Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the stuff that we did not get to during the course of the show today, like news, Lisa, these, and those things. But before we get on to that, this is our new video studio Aftercast. It's our maiden voyage, and hopefully it doesn't sink like the Titanic here, and we'll post this later. And it's nice. We got all this technology. We got a multi-camera shoot. I'm doing my notes off of an iPad, which is nice.
Fancy.
I know. See, there it is. If you are watching the video, you'll see that I've just taped a sheet of paper to the iPad. I'm old school.
That's about as advanced as you're going to get, though.
Yeah, I like paper. I like working off paper.
I still can't believe how long it took you to transition from your book of CDs.
Oh, I know. Every day, I used to carry in a stack of CDs. It had to be upwards of 20 CDs, like 2 stacks of 10. And I would carry them in with all my notes and my headphones. And about once every 3 months, you'd just hear, and then me trying not to swear, like, because the CDs would just go everywhere. And then finally little technology made our lives better. Now it's all on a little tiny chip and I don't have to carry CDs in it every day. And it's actually really nice. So technology is good. I'm just a slow adapter. I'm not the guy that's first in. I'm not the guy that's first in on anything. Like anything that seems trendy, I wait till it goes out of fashion and then I'm in.
You're first in if it's unpopular and people have a problem with it. Then you're like, oh, I love it. It's
I know.
The best.
That is my issue. I've always been that way. That's always been a problem for me.
Think about all of the things you could have been enjoying in life if you had just given into the trends.
No, but I like being the person who's on the outside lobbing in at the trend. You know,
and
making fun of
uncomfortable about how you've chosen to live your life.
Yeah. This is interesting too, because we have a couch here and it seems like we could do therapy sessions up here. If we got like a real psychologist in here and we could each take turns on the couch.
I'm taking psychology. I'll claim myself as a legit psychologist.
I believe that. I'd like for you to, when you get to the end of your class, maybe you could write a paper on us.
No. Do it now. What are our issues?
Based on what you've learned, what could you tell us?
I think a lot of people's issues have to do with insecurity and fear.
Okay, good.
Me included.
Side of narcissism.
Yeah.
Is that for me?
I'm not naming names.
Well, of course it's for me, dummy. I know it's me. I'm a narcissist. This whole thing is about me.
Oh, jeez.
It's so funny because my daughter is like, Gen Z or just on the cusp of millennial and stuff, and just has this really bad view of narcissists. And
she should be throwing us parades.
I know, right?
It's a bad trait.
Well, not totally. When a narcissist is unhealthy, like if you look at the Enneagram, which again, we still have to do this on the show. If you look at the Enneagram, 8s are highly narcissistic. And I'm an 8. Donald Trump is an 8. When an 8 is not healthy, you see a lot of the bad traits exhibited in them of the 8. I'm the same way. When I'm not healthy, I'm not in a good place. It's the worst that comes out. And that's why I like the Enneagram so much, because it described me to a T. But when you're in a good place, being a narcissist actually has benefits and can be good. Most of your companies that are started by people that provide jobs for other people, they're somewhat narcissistic.
But I think that's where the fine line between confident and narcissism lies, because narcissism always, to me, has a negative connotation. Like, it's hard to say positive narcissism
because we've made it that way. It's not necessarily, it's because that became a buzzword for someone that was unhealthy as a narcissist, because there are productive narcissists.
But that's where I think that calling that trait confident makes just more sense, because that actually you can wrap your head around it. Oh, confidence is good. Like, that's good. But if you go too far and you're too confident, that's where you can become a narcissist.
Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable with the label.
Obviously.
I don't have a problem, because the thing to me, the way I see me, and because that's what a narcissist would say, is that like I have those moments. Sometimes I magnify those moments for the joke. Like, I'm not always consumed with self, but like those moments are funny, so I'll magnify that part of my personality. But I also have really healthy traits as well that are
non-narcissistic.
Non-narcissistic, yes, good, kind, and stuff. So you're never one thing entirely. Who would you say, Betty, in your professional opinion, is the most fearful on the show? It might be a toss-up between you.
I really think it would be a tie between you and I.
That's
I would
fair.
say the least fearful is Zachary. I would say the most comfortable with who he is Zachary. Like, he doesn't honestly care what other people think
You
about
take that
him.
like it's a good thing.
Does that make me a narcissist?
Yes.
I think it's a good quality. I wish I was more like that. I wish I didn't care as much.
Do you really? Because there's times, I think everybody has that element where you say, well, I don't care what anyone thinks. I say that all the time, but deep down inside, there is an element to me that definitely does, on some level, about certain things, care what people think. Not all the ways, but my whole existence, my whole career has been based on what people think about me. In mainstream radio, you do a show, you get ratings based on how many people listen, and if they don't like you, you go away, you're fired. So it does matter what people think, but then there's that line between who do you really put stock in what they think, and that's where I'm a little different. There are certain things I don't care about what some people think of me, but then others, it will get me.
There is a healthy balance, because I mean, like I'm sure Zach would say he cares about what Sarah thinks, or what Anna thinks. Like that would bother him.
It's not that I don't care. It's just
or what LeBron thinks about him. But other than that,
I think I had an epiphany in junior high or high school.
Wow.
I realized
You're
no
a deep
one else,
kid.
No, when I realized that no one else is thinking about me nearly as much as I think they are. Like when you're getting dressed and you're having that moment, did I wear this 3 days ago? Did I not? And I'm like, if I can't remember, certainly no one else does.
Funny story. No, funny story. Today, getting dressed, I wore this outfit. I did. I think I wore it on Monday. And I thought, I literally had this internal conversation. I thought, you know what? I think I wore this Monday, but no one's going to remember that. I guess I'll go ahead and wear it anyway. But Becca remembered, and now I can't.
But she doesn't care.
She does care.
I don't, though. I remember.
She's internally judging you.
No, my thought today was, that's so weird he re-wore an outfit, because he's the one to point that out for other people. That's why I thought it was weird. Not because I cared what you wore, but because I know that you care what you wear. That's why it was
I think my epiphany was two parts. One, they don't really notice or care. And two, if they do, it doesn't cost you the points you think it does. Because if it costs, like if I do something that changes someone's opinion of me, if it was true, then that's fine. Like they got to know the real me more. I rewear clothes.
And it's not that if everyone in this room, you're because we're taping this, so the people who work for you are actually watching this. If we all genuinely thought, based on things we had witnessed, we genuinely thought that you were a man of poor character, would that bother you?
Well, no, because I would be a man of poor character, and that wouldn't bother me.
Oh,
fair enough.
Touche.
If I were a man of high character and you all thought I was a man of low character, that would trouble me to no end.
Right.
Yeah, character, maybe that's different to me than image.
Fair enough, yeah.
I care about what people close to me think of me, for sure. Like I care about what you guys think.
But if you're not on that list, watch out.
Yeah, don't care. I had a pastor one time tell me too, because he would get complaints about everything under the sun and stuff. And his whole rule was, if I don't have a relationship with you, then there's no influence. Like if we don't know each other and you can know me better enough to speak into my life, then I'm not giving you that space in my life. That I'll rely on the people who are close to me to make value judgments about me, but not you from the outside, that was kind of a healthy thing for me, because I have so many people weighing in on the minutia of words that I say.
It's a little bit like Armageddon when he talks about the asteroid, and he's like, if you set off a bomb here or a firecracker in your hand, nothing happens. But if you close your hand around the firecracker and it goes off, you have no fingers. It's like the people that are on the inside should have much more power than the people just around the outside.
For sure.
Every life lesson you can learn can come from Armageddon.
Oh, absolutely. Your job is to take care of my little girl. What a great movie.
Harry, no!
That's your job now. Not Chippy! Betty always references Iron Eagle, and it's even the wrong name. Chappie and the wrong movie.
Every time, and you'd think she just does it for the joke, but I legitimately think that's what she thinks.
Chippy!
That was Armageddon, right?
Yeah.
Chippy? No? Okay.
All right, well, we've done a little psychoanalysis. I am looking forward to the end of your class when you've learned more, and then maybe we'll do a segment on the show about that.
Well, it's funny because everything that y'all have been talking about has been some things that I have read about.
Like, we just helped her study.
Yeah. But it's like one of them that approached it, and I think Becca and we've talked about this before. You go to a store, like we talked about American Eagle, and you feel like everyone is standing around there judging you about either your age, your weight, your
what
style.
size you're picking up.
I fully get that.
And so, but people like Zach, they're at Goodwill and they're like, Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Because Zach knows he's better than everyone at Goodwill. That's why you go there. Because like I know I'm not better than everyone at Urban Outfitters. They all have 6-pack abs and they're judging me. But Zach has a job, he has a family, and he's at Goodwill. He's like, and I got a car that's paid for. I'm better than all of you. You know, that's why he goes there.
Smart people. No, there are smart, wealthy people that shop all the time at Goodwill.
I actually did have a friend of mine that got really great deals. She always looked good and put together. And half the time my wife would go, where did you get that outfit? She's like, oh, I got it from Goodwill.
The only thing I find there's like jack-o'-lantern sweaters. Like that's all that's in the rack.
I've never had any luck with clothes there either.
And one person that you think that claims that they have good luck, but you would beg to differ is your own daughter.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Her shopping at Goodwill, she was going through like a boho kind of put anything mismatched together and just be a free spirit kind of phase. And so what we did was I'm like, I want to help her outfit in her closet a little bit. So we would go shopping and I'd buy her things and then she'd have to give me one of the things that she bought to get the new thing. It was ingenious. It was like an exchange program. Worked great. And now she's like, she actually is really happy with like the outfit that she did.
On your parenting.
Yeah, I should actually.
I let my daughter Anna wear anything she wants. I never try to influence her.
When she was little, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When she was little, like her mom would have, the best. Marty would always have, the right outfit picked out and she'd always look great. And then if I ever had her like for the weekend or a day or whatever, not that we're divorced, but like just if Marty was gone or something. And then like she'd see pictures and be like, you let her go out in that? I'm like, yeah, she's fine.
I just always tell her, you be you.
Yeah. You be you, kiddo. I can
and
see
she repeats
you.
it, which is fantastic.
And that reminds me too. I was just watching on your story on Instagram the other day. Was she saying something about tickle trees?
A tickle tree. Yeah, we've been doing that for 2 years. Like we go on a walk on this thing out like near our house, and there's these trees, and when I'm holding her, I'll like lean into the trees so it gets all over her, and I call them tickle trees.
But they're cactus.
Her. Well, I'm toughening the kid up because now when the thorns of life come, she just laughs it off.
Yeah.
But no, so I lean into the tickle tree. Yeah! So now she runs into the tree herself. Tickle tree, tickle tree.
That's great. You should do that with traffic. Tickle traffic.
Yeah, don't write a book.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay, what are we on to? News?
We are going to do some news.
All right. So if you've ever scrolled through Instagram, there are some photos that are just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And you always wonder, where did they go to get those photos? For example, one of the trends that maybe you, Betty, have seen is women standing in sunflower fields. And it's gorgeous with all these sunflowers around them. So there's this family in Canada that had a sunflower farm, and they decided, hey, this is a revenue stream. We could make $5 a pop to have people come take pictures at our farm. And so people started coming. There's some gorgeous pictures that they got. It became so popular, though, that on one day they had 7,000 cars show up. This is their home, too.
That's 7,000 cars. That's at least 2 people because you got to have somebody taking the picture.
Right.
Like that'd be like 14,000 people minimum there.
They said from every corner people are coming. They had shut down the interstate. There were so many cars that had pulled over trying to get to this farm, coming from all corners, that they had to shut it down because they were killing their crops and it was completely defeating the purpose. And now they're getting like hate mail and threats because they closed down their sunflower farm because everyone was ruining it.
You're saying that was 7,000 people. Let's say you're getting $5 a pop. That's $35,000.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. But if there's
one
no
day.
sunflowers left, then there's no sunflowers.
How much did you make off selling those sunflowers? Like that's
insane.
crazy.
Do you remember Joel, who we met in Niger, Africa?
Yeah,
Works for Cure. Great guy. He had a blog post recently that we're going to be putting up on Way Nation. He was in Norway, and there's this amazing view. You see the photo, and your jaw just drops. He said up until 1980, I think. No, up until 2010. 800 people a year would make this 10-mile trek to get to see that view. So 800 people a year. Now it's 80,000 people a year.
Oh, wow.
Since the invention of Instagram, and everybody's getting the shot. And then he showed the picture of these lines wrapping around, waiting to get their turn to be like on this like rod that juts out. All so people can get it on the gram, then they hike 10 miles back.
Is that the new thing for Instagram instead of the picture of your steak? Are people still taking food photos? Is that a thing has that died out at all?
Well, I don't follow the people.
I
who
don't
do that
see
much.
many, honestly.
I've got one person that does it quite a bit, but
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me anymore, honestly,
Yeah.
because it doesn't seem to be that common.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to that dramatic destination just for that photo is probably becoming more common.
You want to take a good Instagram photo? All you got to do is go to Venice. Like you cannot take.
All you got to do,
Yeah.
all you got to do is buy a $2,000 plane ticket.
Get that first class ticket, hop on that jet.
10 hours over there.
Yeah, it's easy.
Find a place to stay, spend some money.
But think of the great photo you'll have to remember it.
Or buy a green screen
Yeah.
and go, ta-da.
Yeah, it's pretty
Good to
crazy too. Yeah,
We
like
should
I
start
like.
a green screen business just for fake Instagram.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
I love it.
I liked when we did our Shark Week videos, the green screen of me hanging upside down in the shark costume, which I was not upside down. It was just a green screen. You flipped it and then put the other fish hanging upside down.
Right.
A 3-second video, and I laughed every time I saw it.
And you can still see the power outlet that I didn't take the time to key out, but no one knows it.
I didn't see it. Oh my gosh! Now
Glad I didn't take the time.
we got to go back and redo it.
Funny.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the power outlet needs to be painted
Yeah, we
green.
need to make a cover.
Why don't you guys paint that
We're
green?
not done yet.
All right.
We're
in the new video studio today,
Yes.
by the way. Anyway, if you're listening to the Aftercast online, so we got one more news story.
Yes. So I don't know. We've talked about this before. You guys have noticed that when you go to a fast food restaurant anymore, it feels like you're spending a ton of money, especially if you have family that you're taking through the drive-through. What previously would be like $3 has turned into an expense that you'd spend eating out at a sit-down restaurant.
Wally bought a fish fillet, and it was
Venice.
No, it was a domestic fish fillet.
like $5
Yeah.
for just the sandwich.
Almost $4.
No
Yeah, almost
fries,
$5.
no drink.
I couldn't believe it. That's what the dollar menu is, the best value.
Well, that's what they did. They found the 8 best values you can get from dollar menus at different fast food restaurants. So you're getting the most bang for your buck, the not highest quality food, but maybe the most
calories per dollar.
protein.
Yeah.
They did not quite that mathematically, but the best, like you feel like you're actually getting something. So is there anything that you guys feel should be on the list?
Zach is a dollar menu millionaire.
Yes.
Like he's always buys off the value menu. And even when I did this the other day, I got a chicken sandwich, fries, and a Coke, and I just kind of ordered it not off the value menu. And thank goodness the lady was nice to me. So I walked out of there. My meal was $3, and it would have been $7 if she had given me like the number 2 value menu, or not value menu, but just regular menu thing.
So what do you think's on this list?
I mean, getting a large drink from McDonald's for $1 is pretty
Best
amazing.
ever.
Makes it so you can't buy soft drinks anywhere else because you're like $3, $2.
These are all food items.
Oh,
Taco Bell had to get on there.
Taco Bell. Yes, Taco Bell's shredded chicken mini quesadilla,
delicious.
which is actually very good and a decent amount of food for $1.
I meant to bring this up on the show today. I got made fun of at Taco Bell the other day by somebody I didn't know. Okay, so I go to Taco Bell, and it's like these construction workers there, so they're all like coming in for lunch and all burly, rah, rah, rah. And so I'm there, and there was the lady. I went to the Taco Bell I haven't been to for a while, and I saw the lady that I used to always see, and this has been years, and she would always go, "Hello," like
Why
that.
does everyone in the fast food drive-thru have the same accent?
Can't explain it. Ask
Her and Nuba.
Ask my wife, Marty, it's how this lady sounds. Hello. And so I walk in, I see her, I'm so excited, and I go, hello. Just that internal thing in my head kicked in. And she recognized me, and she's like, how have you been? It has been a long time. I said, yes, it has been a long time. And I said, I would like to order the Frito burrito with no Fritos. Because it's a beef burrito on the 99-cent menu. They don't have another one on there. It's the only one on there. I don't want the Fritos.
The Fritos are so good, though.
I don't want the Fritos. And so I hear behind me from Construction Land World, you just ordered a Frito burrito with no Fritos. I'm like, yes, I did. And it's really good.
And I'd like it at 140 degrees, please.
Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't seem crazy to me. It's a really good burrito, and the Fritos ruin it.
Steven, I told you this would take a lot longer than we originally told you.
Yep, this is why I tell stories.
Some other items on the list: Jimmy John's day-old bread.
Oh, I went
Yes.
to Jimmy John's the other day. No, I was kidding.
They
Great
actually
deal.
sell that?
It is, yeah, and it's good.
Yeah.
I
It's
used to get it
75
in
cents,
college
right?
all
For
the
a
time.
whole loaf, and
Yeah.
you can
Really?
make your
Just
own
the
sandwiches.
bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their bread is
I would
good.
have it for meals, and I would just walk back to campus.
Oh, that's so sad.
Wow.
I know. Things you do
That's
in college.
dangerous in college,
I
too,
know.
man, with the freshman 15.
I did not gain the freshman 15.
You
I
didn't?
gained the newlywed 20.
Oh, well, there you go. You win.
Yeah.
Winning.
What? No, it's just
You outperformed your college days.
I was active in college, so I was
Yeah.
walking around a lot. And then like the Jimmy John's bread was like the only thing I ate that day. So
Yeah.
Yeah. White Castle's cheese slider is on this list. Wendy's buffalo chicken ranch sandwich. Sonic's mini tots, which seems odd because it's not, you don't get that many.
Yeah, and they did away with the family size tot. I need to write somebody. Is there somebody we can write? Maybe those two guys in the
Congress.
car. I'll write those two guys in the car. One of them will respond.
Why do you hate families?
Yes. McDonald's McChicken, which I definitely agree
Yes.
with because that's it's been like a good like fast meal.
I have to get it plain and eat it like a giant nugget.
Yeah.
I don't like bread on bread.
Oh,
Really?
On that sandwich.
what
sure.
you mean.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Del Taco and Jack in the Box tacos. Those both made it at number 2. And then the number 1 was Burger King's cheeseburger, which I didn't realize you could get for $1.
Yeah, but why Burger King? I guess it's better than McDonald's, maybe.
And if you're a McDonald's fan, you really, really need to get the app because the coupons in there. Like right now, I've been getting a coupon every day for any sandwich for $1, except for the double quarter pounder or their signature ones.
Oh, really?
But
That
so
would
you
have been
can
nice
get
for
their-
fish fillet day.
You can get their
Yes.
quarter pound cheeseburger, which is $4.50 for $1.
Wow, I didn't expense that fish fillet day to Farron either. I should have turned that in as an expense.
You can add it to the video studio budget. If you want.
Perfect. Yeah, everything gets added to that, so it's not a problem. Betty Rock, what do you got for a list of these?
I've got a list. Somebody put together a list of the greatest cars. So
Ford Focus.
no, it's these are movie cars. So movie or TV show cars. So a couple of them that made the list.
Batmobile.
Yes, the Batmobile made it. Dark Knight trilogy. They said that one is
That one was pretty
That one
beefed
was
up.
number 5. Number 7 was Greased Lightning from Grease.
From Greece. Oh, yeah. That's kind of a cool car, though.
Yeah. Number 4, Herbie the Love Bug from Herbie.
That's an iconic car. I don't know that I would want to own it, though.
Yeah. Number 3, the DeLorean from Back to the
course.
Future.
Yes. I mean, those you can
If
own.
number one's not Kit. I'm
Oh,
walking
Knight
out.
Rider.
Yeah.
Get ready to walk out. Number 2, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, who wants to own that car? Is it the Beverly Hillbillies number 1 car?
No, the number 1 car is James Bond's Aston Martin DB5. I have no idea what that is.
Garbage list. Does that car talk to him?
I
Can
don't
that
know.
car go in super surveillance mode? Can it do turbo moves? I
Can it
think
do
not.
curve moves? Is that what you said?
Surveillance mode.
Oh,
Super
oh.
pursuit mode.
Can that car repel women today?
That sounds more accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, I've also got another
Do you
list.
remember what IROC used to stand for? The IROC Z? It was just like that car. It was basically like an 80s Camaro. The IROC was "It reeks of cologne," is what people used to say that stood for.
That's funny.
This is another list, something that Zach and I won't understand, but Wally and Becca will eat up. This is the most ridiculous statements said of this season of The Bachelorette.
Oh, delightful. There's a bunch of
Okay.
them, and they all have to be from Jordan.
Wait, can we guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Okay, I won't tell you what the situation
I got
was.
one.
This face is professionality. Or what is this?
Professionality.
Yeah.
That didn't make the list.
My greatest asset is being me, is myself. Being myself and not being you is not your greatest asset.
Okay, that did make the list. It says being me is my greatest power.
Yes.
Being you isn't your greatest power. That's why you got to talk about me.
Yes, that's Jordan. And he
Yeah.
says the most
Said it to
nonsensical
David during an argument.
Oh, delightful.
Okay, so what about, quote, I talk to God every day and people that go against me just end up hurt. Anyway,
Oh.
I think that was also Jordan.
it was
Yeah.
Jordan saying that about David after he was rushed to the hospital from falling from the bed.
Yeah, they made it look. That's the thing about The Bachelors. They make a lot of things look salacious and like there was a fight and someone got beat up. This knucklehead fell out of bed, hit his face on the floor, and broke his nose, and had to go to the hospital. And then he came back for Becca
He
because
said
he
God
loves her.
did it and
Yeah.
hurt him. Quote, Becca looks amazing, but she smells good. She's got a good smell about her.
There's a guy on there that
The perfume guy?
yeah, he's the connoisseur.
Colton,
whatever.
is that his name?
Oh, that was Colton.
That was Colton?
It says it's Colton making things
Oh.
weird.
That surprises me
I
coming
didn't
from
think
Colton.
that was him. Okay.
Yeah. Quote, this is a risk. Going into a rose ceremony with a tracksuit on, but this is the time to put it all out on the line.
But see, that's what Jordan would have done is wore a tracksuit.
But he didn't. I don't remember who it was though.
It was Nick entering the rose ceremony.
Nick.
Who dat?
I can speak. I can walk. I'm fit. I really wish I knew what she didn't like about
Jordan.
me.
That was after he got dumped. Yeah. I
This
can walk.
That was on the date where they go to sit down and he's like, "Man, I wish I had my portfolio with me
Oh
to
my
show you my
gosh.
modeling pictures."
This guy was, you couldn't, again, you can't write that character. Like, you just can't. He's so
I don't know.
awesome.
My good. Meeting Becca for the first time was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my whole life.
Wow.
Who is that?
Somebody lived an
Says
easy
it was
life.
Nick.
Nick?
Again, who dat?
Who, you don't know who Nick is?
I don't,
Was Nick
I don't
Chicken
know them
Man?
well enough.
Was
I
Nick
don't.
the chicken guy?
I don't know.
Oh, well, there was a chicken that was brought up. This one was, quote, I lost to a chicken, man. Come on.
Yeah. Who said that?
Camille, after elimination.
Oh, okay.
So I guess
Camille
he
went
lost,
out early. He went out on like
he lost
night
to a
one.
real chicken or someone dressed up as a chicken?
Dressed up as a chicken.
Okay.
Camille went out on night one because they had him back on the show on the Men Tell All for some reason.
And you're like, who dat?
And yeah, exactly. And then he ended up getting into it with Jordan too. You're like, all right.
This is my favorite quote. Quote, kissing Becca is like flying to the moon on the wind of a Pegasus while dancing with unicorns on a pot of gold.
Wow.
So poetic.
Don't care who said it.
By
That's just
Lincoln.
weak. Oh, Lincoln. Yeah, Lincoln was a Brit. I think he was English.
That's all I
They
got.
talk like that. All right, well, let's do some birthdays here, Betty Rock, with you before we get out of here on the Aftercast.
All right, let's see. Mark wants to wish Lucy happy birthday. He said that she loves dad jokes. So his question is, what joke has your dad told 100 times?
My dad was not like necessarily packaged jokes. It was very situational, and he was very quick to notice when you said things wrong. That's weird where I got that
weird.
from. But so he was very big on the like, well, Shirley, you can't be serious. Oh, don't call me Shirley.
He's doing airplane lines.
Yeah,
That's from
but
Airplane.
more than that, like he was. I wish I had more specific examples, but he would notice even the smallest like turn of phrase that you said it. Everyone else in the room knew exactly what you were talking about. It wasn't even like a grammatical thing. It was the way you structured your sentence. He would pick up on and make a joke about it.
I used to always hate it when someone would go, you'd go, can I go to the store? I don't know, can you?
Yeah, I got that a lot as a child.
Yeah, may I go to the store?
Joey did that to me the other day. I'm like, excuse me?
That's funny.
Does anybody else have dad jokes?
My dad didn't really tell dad jokes, but anytime someone would call him the wrong name or mispronounce our last name or something, he would say, you can call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big dad line. My dad also, when my friends would call, they go, is Becca there? And he'd go, yep. Click.
And hang up. That's awesome. That's a great dad
I
move.
answered their question.
Yeah, that's a great dad
That's what
move.
I'm saying. He was very literal in everything.
I like that.
Caroline wants to wish Jay, her hubby, and Mr. Incredible a happy birthday.
I know you hate saying
I
hubby.
hate that term. Said that he's dad to Liam and Isaac, faithful potty and golfer, in quotes, actually really good, just not just one of those sad dad golfer types. Okay. Clara wants to wish her sister Greta a happy birthday. Said she's turning 18. She's a ballet dancer and a harpist.
Oh, you don't find many
Wow,
harpists.
a very classy lady. And Jared and Kim want to wish their son Caleb a happy 15th birthday. Said he is so smart and funny, and he always keeps us laughing. Their question is, Caleb grew up in China, so there are many things he misses that just aren't the same or aren't available here. What do you miss from your childhood that you can no longer get or is no longer the same?
There's so many things that aren't the same because when you're a kid, you feel so much passion about things and you love it. And then when you see it back as an adult, like say a cartoon or something, and it's just, I see kind of why I liked it, but it's not the same. Like you want to go back and buy the box set of Speed Racer cartoons because you loved it as a kid. And then you watch it as an adult and you watch a few minutes of it and you're like, oh, okay, I'm done. Like you can't go home again on some things.
The one thing I thought of was that I actually have, so I guess it doesn't really apply, but I was so excited to get the N64 for Christmas that 1 year because I haven't kept up with modern video games, but I liked the era that I grew up playing, and that was that. So I've had fun beating Zelda a few
It's nice
times.
that you can still get games for that and stuff too, like at
secondhand,
the GameStop and stuff. Yeah.
Dirk, my brother, gave me a ton because he no longer plays
He
because
beats
of
them
kids.
all after playing them one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He doesn't even
Done.
play him and beats him. He picks it up and goes, beat.
It's so funny. He gave me the
Dirk's
games.
amazing.
He's like, I haven't played in 10 years or whatever. Like, you can just have the games, have fun with them. I'll probably never play again. And I still, at that little sister mentality, I'm like, I can't delete his profile. He'll be so mad at me to tell him. So,
That'd be a good question sometime too about the fights you had with your siblings. I used to run through, we had a bucket of crayons and the girls would be drawing and I would run through the middle and I'd just grab the bucket and take off running with it and stuff. And they'd, Dad,
Why?
Just to mess with them. Like that's been my whole life.
Yes, it has. I would say not much has changed with my likes from back when I was younger to what it is now. I still watch Scooby-Doo. I have seasons 1 through 2, which I think is the only seasons that there are. Also have
Really?
Scooby-Doo movies. Yes.
Wow. That feels like that would have been on forever.
I know it does. But anyways, I still watch those to this day. My roommate can say that is true. I would say the one thing that I miss is just back in the day being at school and knowing your friends are in the same location. I got a packed lunch ready and waiting for me.
Yeah.
The only bad thing was the homework, but everything, your whole world is in one little location. And I just didn't realize how easy it was. And I missed that.
Yeah, the key to that is having friends at school. Otherwise, school is horrible.
True that.
From experience. Huh?
Yeah, definitely. Zach?
I miss Red Rover. Like you're not allowed to play that.
Let's play.
Let's do it
Right now.
I used to, because I was always so short, I would get clotheslined in that game. Like you go running, and I'm like, I'm going to break through this. And then they just raise your arm a little bit and just cut your neck off.
We should have a field day, away from
That would
field
be
day.
fun.
Three-legged races.
Kickball would be great.
Tetherball.
The potato sack race.
I watched
Yes.
Dodgeball the other day on TV on ESPN the Ocho.
You can dodge a
And
wrench. You can dodge,
Dodge a ball. Yeah, that's got some bad stuff in it, but there were some funny moments in that. Do you have one more birthday or is that it? Because I got one anniversary thing. From Brian. It says, hey, can you guys give me and my wife an anniversary shout out? It's been 5 years now. We both listen to the podcast and the Aftercast all the time. So Brian and Jennifer, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We love anniversaries. That's a good thing.
Okay.
All right. So weekend
It's
plans.
that best of time. Weekend plans.
We don't really have a jingle for that. We're working
coming.
through it. It's Friday.
Yeah, it's
Tell us
coming.
about your weekend. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll work out.
So let's start with you, Wally. What are you doing?
I think I might be playing
yes. Tell
disc
us
golf
more.
with Joseph O'Brien from America's Got Talent. We had him on the show. We taped an interview. We'll run it back next week. But he just is a really nice kid. I just found that I really liked him. And he plays disc golf. And I did like the old guy thing. I'm like, hey, if you ever want to play disc golf, I'd like to play, because a lot of people that I hang out with don't. And so I'm thinking, okay, he's never going to email me back. Never. Because he's been on America's Got Talent. But he's like such a nice guy. And he's like, yeah, I'd totally like to go. I'm free most days. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's go. So I think we're going to try to get out and throw the thing. If it doesn't happen, don't judge me on Monday. If I come in sad on Monday, you'll know I didn't play disc
You're
golf.
gonna be just like your daughter.
With Joseph O'Brien, yeah. Who likes him more?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I go to a movie tonight, meeting my parents for lunch tomorrow because they live.
Do you get to choose or do they?
Oh, we go back and forth. They chose this time. So my dad, mom, and Joey all have summer birthdays. So we're celebrating the summer birthdays, I guess. So my parents picked since they both have
Where are they going?
summer birthdays.
Where
We're
are
going
you
to O'Charlie's.
Oh, okay.
So
They have good caramel pie.
yes, it's like pure caramel. It's
Oh, yeah. That's why.
sickening,
Caramel caramel.
but
Yeah,
it's
there you go
so
from the show
good.
today.
Yeah.
They each said it differently.
And then Sunday, maybe trying a new church. We haven't found a church yet because since we moved, which has been really frustrating. But there's one I noticed the other day that's like meeting in a school. I was like, oh, we could check that
Oh,
out.
doing school church.
I know.
swore
Ground
after,
floor.
yeah, I did school church for about 3 or 4 years. And after that, and I was all involved and we'd set up, tear down, and we had like a real big setup. Like they made it look great. But I was like, I don't ever want to do school church again.
I did it in high school. We had a second campus at the church I grew up in, and Joey and I both, for youth group and Sunday morning services, were always there to tear up, set down, and
Yeah.
all the chairs.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like what I do now is I'll go once and I'll meet somebody at school church and I'll say, okay, I did like your church. Here's my number. When you get into a real building, you can call me and I'll come back. I don't like school church.
You know, man, some churches meet in the movie theaters. It'd be nice if they met in the movie theaters with their reclining
Oh, that'd be
seats.
awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
Sleep.
Yes.
Woo,
I've
turn
never
the
done
lights
movie
down.
theater church. We have one near us. I've never
We
done
do.
that.
I haven't tried
The
it
church
either.
you go to now used to meet in the theater.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, we went like 3 times to school.
I wouldn't have gone then. I like it now.
Tell me when you got a real church.
Yes, when you have a real big building with flat screens.
So I am on Saturday. I'm going to meet a group of friends, but before that, another friend of mine. Her name is Miss Carolyn. She's in her Well, I think she'll be 79 this year.
wow.
But anyways, her and her husband, they're going through a lot of health issues and stuff. But I think I'm going to go and visit her because
Help
she
her
lives
change her will.
She lives in the same neck of the woods as the group of friends that I'm going to go meet afterwards. And I think we're going to play this meme game. I forget what it's called, but it's like you have these little meme pictures and then you get to pick what goes best with it. It's kind of like apples to apples.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
I've wanted to bring it for us to play, but
That ought to be
fun
fun
to
playing
do.
with a 79-year-old,
I'm not
too.
playing with her.
Oh.
No. I'm leaving her house before and then going
That's
to
what I'm interested in. What are you doing with the 79-year-old besides keeping her awake? Yeah.
Aw,
Because old people nod off, man. I know this because I nod off.
Actually, what's funny is for a 79-year-old, you act more old than she does.
Really?
Yes, because you do nod off.
It's so funny. I told somebody the joke I told one time with my grandma. She just passed away a few weeks ago. So it was sad, but it was, I mean, she had lived a lot of life and it wasn't a quality of life she had afterwards. So, we were all kind of like relieved. I know that sounds horrible.
She was like 102.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was time, but I remember telling somebody about the joke because she always had a great sense of humor. And we were at Thanksgiving one time and she was talking about watching those ghost hunter shows. And she's like, I just love those ghost hunter shows. And I'm like, why? Do you see your friends? And everyone in the room was like, until she laughed, and then it was like okay for everyone else to laugh.
I that an 11.2.
Thank you.
Wow, the 10-point scale.
That was really
New
good.
record.
That was really good. Zachary,
No idea.
you don't plan. You and
No.
Sarah don't plan.
And Zach's had a really crazy couple of weeks here. So I doubt you've even had much chance to think about a break from here.
No. So I'm hoping to get some time to unplug and then running sound at church on Sunday, which is nice because then you have the whole message to just sit there and read or whatever. Because you're
To
in there
not
3
pay
times.
attention. I know. You have to listen once.
Yeah.
You have to specify you're listening once.
Or can you just absorb enough? Can you absorb a third of the message each time?
Just passively listen 3 times, and
And each time
that'll
you
be
get
one
something new.
active
Yeah.
listening session.
Do
I don't
you
know how it
find that
works.
the
I'd buy into
jokes
that.
work every time?
It is really funny hearing the same one and like it doesn't get a laugh the first service. You're like, well, I'm going to scratch that. And then
Yeah.
he rolls with the second service
Yeah.
and says they didn't think it was funny. And then the third service runs it again.
It's still like, yeah, you should have punted at that point.
It's also the early service, like people aren't awake yet.
Yeah.
And non-funny jokes are better than funny jokes anyway.
Our pastor told it. He said something funny. He wasn't necessarily making a joke, but he was in conversation, said something funny in like the first service. And I never go to the first service. We were there that week. And I, after the service, I kind of pulled him aside. I'm like, well, here's why that joke didn't work. I'm like telling him like why it didn't work because we couldn't understand what you said. Had you said it clearer, the joke would have landed. And so then the next service, because I had to stay, the next service, he fixed it, nailed it, landed the joke. Fantastic. But it's funny because like as like a student of comedy, sometimes you don't know why something didn't land. And it was just because you couldn't understand what he said because it's really funny.
It's like, these jeans are not black.
Not black. These jeans are not black.
These jeans are black not.
Did you get that? I didn't
It's
get
a
From the
Borat
gold-
reference.
Yeah, they do it all the
From a
time.
trailer. Never seen the movie.
It's the only funny part of the Borat movie. Like there's so much wrong and uncomfortable in that movie, but that one part is legitimately funny.
You know what the best part in that movie is?
The end.
Chippy, no!
And that brings us full circle, and that is also going to conclude the Aftercast, which everybody that is off camera right now is really thankful for.